Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for coming and welcome. If you've been here before, thank you also for coming back. I appreciate it. I would love it if you guys would like, comment, and subscribe. I'm new at this. I'm just really starting my YouTube channel. So far, I am enjoying the ride. If you guys are subscribing and liking my content, please do so. Like, comment, and subscribe so I'll know that you're enjoying it, and I'll stay motivated and keep pumping out these videos for you guys. I've gotten a lot of feedback from different people wanting to take classes with me and learn how to do a lot of the things that I do, and well, here you go. These are actually some free classes. So all I need you guys to do for me, in order for me to keep coming out and bringing them to you, is just like it and subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments how I'm doing, okay? With all that being said, let's get started. Today, you guys, I got a few cakes to pump out for this weekend for you guys. The first one that we are going to do is a SpaceJam cake. It's actually for a baby shower, okay? And I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and cover up the board so you guys will see how to cover up the board, and then we'll just go on from there. Now I have two corrugated boards. These are actually 12-inch boards, okay? I only got two because it's just a single layer cake, okay? We're going to put them together. We're going to go ahead and tape them up. And these are not wax proof, which means if I take a little bit of buttercream and put it on there, or should I say grease proof, the grease will show. But it doesn't matter because we're going to go ahead and wrap the board. And I'm showing you guys this again because this is a good way to make your board whatever color you would like. And then it could also save you a little bit of money. And this is literally how I do it. I don't usually go and buy the drums. So we're basically just making a drum ourselves, okay? And by the way, happy Friday, y'all. You know, if you're in the treat world, the cake world, the event world, I know you somewhere getting it in. This is going to be another easy weekend. The cakes that we got to do, I typically do a lot of tiered cakes, and I don't actually have any tiered cakes going this weekend. I want to make sure you guys can see me. So all the cakes are pretty simple. Now all I'm doing is I actually have here some foil wrap, okay? And what I love about this is it's like a two for one. On one side is black, on the other side is silver. We can actually use both sides, so I love that because you can get 2 for 1 with the color, okay? Now all I did was, I'm going to take this and throw it over here in my garbage bowl. Now all I did was take the two boards, tape them together. Now I got the corrugated wrap, and because it's SpaceJam and it's kind of dark in outer space, I'm going to use the black side. So we're going to put the black side down, and then we're going to take our board, put it right on there, and then all we're going to do is just go around, bringing the paper up. We're going to take some Scotch tape, just regular tape, got it from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to tape the board going all the way around. We're basically, all we're doing is taping, just how when you see the drums, when you get it and you pick the colors, all we're doing is taping the foil wrap to the drum. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you guys can see me pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna tape it all the way around. This is quick and easy. The paper, this brand that I'm actually using, guys, and one of the in particular cake stores that I go to, they sell this. They have it in every color. It costs probably about $10 a roll. So it's really inexpensive for what you're trying to do. And this is something that you can do ahead. You know what I mean? Early up in the week, you know how many cakes you got going for the weekend. So you just go ahead, do your boards ahead. If you got any children, give them a couple dollars. Let them earn a little bit of money and help you out and cover all your boards for you. And then they're already ready. As you can see, I'm just going around, bringing it down. And all I'm doing is taping it up all the way around, okay? Quick and easy. And like I said, you know, this is something that you can do ahead. You can do early up in the week. If you just want to, you know, just bang out and just get started, this is something that can be done ahead. Now, doing it like this, the actual corrugated board by itself, I get those from a place called American Paper. It's over there on 11 Mile on the east side. Just look it up, American Paper. And they come in like, now see how I just taped the board all the way around? Boom. Now we got our drum that we made ourselves. Only took a couple minutes to get it done. And like I said, you can do this ahead in the week, okay? Now, like I said, the corrugated board, I actually got it from American Paper, but I also get, you can get the boards from the cake store. Now, you guys, if you didn't know, there's a new cake store called Crummy's over on West 7 Mile. That sells the cake boards and the different things for us right here in the city. You guys, I got a video coming up where I went by and visited her and patronized her and bought some things from her store. So I'm going to upload that. So if you guys hadn't made it over there, you guys will get to see a really good view of the inside of the store. But however, she sells these things as well. So somewhere quick in the city, you can run by and grab it. So now that we got our board wrapped, okay, let's get started. I got my buttercream icing over here, and as you guys know, and if you're new here, I make the buttercream from scratch. There is real butter in here. I do about 3 or 4 batches before I get started on my cakes. That way I can keep going. Buttercream will last you guys for 2 weeks on the counter at room temperature. Okay, now mine don't usually last that long. I pretty much have to make a new batch every weekend, but if you wanted to know, it will last. Also, just so you guys know, I do sell my buttercream. It's very smooth, it's very delicious. It has been proven. I have been using this same buttercream for 14 years. Any cake or treat you've got from me, if buttercream is involved, this is it. If you guys are looking for a good buttercream, just hit me up on my email, aboveallcreations@gmail.com. I do it in white and various colors, okay? And I'll get some out to you. Okay, so now we're gonna put just a little bit of glue on the board, which is our buttercream. I'm gonna go ahead and put some gloves on. We went from a nice sunny day to it snowing. I woke up to it snowing, guys, but if you live in Michigan, you know. Okay, now, if you guys are new here and you hadn't seen my other videos yet, and you're just stumbling over here, then what I do with my cakes is I bake sheet cakes. So once the sheet cakes is baked, I can cut out a circle, a square, a rectangular, an octagon, any type of shape that I want from a sheet cake. So I like to bake all my orders in sheet cakes, and then I use my cake pans to cut it out. Now we're doing a round cake here. It's gonna be a triple layer cake, and it's marble, okay? Now for this is my 8-inch pan. And all I'm gonna do is take my pan, sit it right here. I have one already cut out here. 8-inch cake. Now we're gonna take it flat side down. We're gonna take our simple syrup. And I put a simple syrup on all of my cakes. Every cake, any chance that I get to add a little bit more flavor to my cake, I do it. It's already delicious. It keeps it moist. And it, you know, it adds a little bit of flavor. Not really that it needs it, but I love it. I love it. I do not make my cakes without it. Then we're gonna take our bag. Let's go ahead and get it filled up. And like I said, with this buttercream, I use it for everything. So if I'm coloring or anything, I start off with white and then just make things the color that I need, okay? Shoot a little bit of the air out, and then we just gonna go around. Go all the way around until we close in the center, okay? Boom, that's done. Just running my spatula over it a little bit. Now, what I do is I take my 8-inch pan. Now, after I bake my cakes, once they cool, I take them out of the pans. I put it on like a sheet pan that I have here, this yellow sheet pan. I put a piece of parchment paper or wax paper at the bottom. Then I put each sheet cake, put another piece of wax paper, and pile them up. Because I'm not at the storefront anymore and I'm doing cakes from my home now, I don't have those big freezers and fridges anymore. I'm kind of down to the normal stuff. So just to save more room in the fridge, I stack the cakes up this way. So I bake them, put the parchment or wax paper in between, and just stack them up high, okay? Now, and then when you guys come, I got cake ready to go and I freeze them. So right now we are working on, well, they've been out for a few minutes, but I pretty much start with frozen cake. Now we're gonna take off the wax paper that I put in there, put it in my garbage bowl. We're gonna take our 8-inch pan. Let me move it over so you got, yep. And then we're gonna sit it right on the 8-inch pan. And I'm gonna do it right in the corner because as much surface as I got, I wanna get as much cake out of this sheet cake as I can. Any leftover sheet cake, any leftover cake, all I do is take the cake, put it in the freezer bag, and I toss it in the freezer because I can use that for cake pops, for push pops, for cake sickles, if I'm making petit fours. So never throw away your extra cake because that's money going down the drain, okay? That's a little tip for you. So now what we're gonna do is just go around the perimeter of the pan. It's an 8-inch pan, so I'm cutting out an 8-inch cake. Now here's our 8-inch cake that we needed, okay? Now we're gonna do flat side down, push it down just a little bit. Then we're gonna take our simple syrup and add it to the cake. Now when you're making a simple syrup, the way I make mine, I use 4 cups of sugar, 2.5 cups of water. I do vanilla. Now I do it to sight because usually I make it, it's usually the same color when I'm done. And I use regular vanilla, but if you don't want yours to be brown, like the regular vanilla color, you can use clear vanilla, okay? Either one, whichever one you like. But if, just to give you a recipe, with the vanilla, I would say about 4 or 5 tablespoons of vanilla should do it. So 4 cups of sugar, 2.5 cups of water, about 4 to 5 tablespoons of vanilla, and then I put it in the microwave for 10 minutes. And when it's done, I got simple syrup, okay? Now, we're gonna take our bag, we're gonna go around our cake again, all the way until we get to the center. Now, a lot of times I do both ways. It just depends on what's close to me or even how much time that I have when I'm doing the orders. So sometimes I fill up the bag and I do it the way I'm showing you guys right now. And then sometimes I just go in a bucket with my spatula and just scoop it on. So it doesn't matter, whichever one makes you comfortable. Okay, now this is a triple layer. So we need one more 8-inch. So we're gonna take our 8-inch pan again. We're gonna put it right here in this corner, as close to the corner as possible. And then we're gonna go in. Cut out another 8-inch, okay? Now we got another 8-inch. Put that on top. Add our simple syrup. Now, is it a certain amount of simple syrup? No, not necessarily. I just want every part of it to have some in there. So you can kind of be the judge of that part yourself. It's not really a certain amount that I actually use. Now, if you notice, now I got another sheet cake up under that because the next cake I'm bringing to you guys is marble as well. Like I said, we're just gonna keep going. Now, with this, see how much cake I got left? See where I cut the 2 8s? And we got this whole side of cake left here. Now, what I can do, if I was doing a 2-tier, this could be my top tier. I can cut out 5-inch cakes and I could definitely get 2 out of here. So this whole 1 sheet cake, Now, I already had one round left from another cake that I did, but we got 2 8-inch rounds out of it, so I can take 1/2 sheet and make a 2-tier cake for a client, okay? Then it'll be little corners, you know, like this left, and there's the cake pops, okay? So remember that. Do not throw away your scraps. And then, if you're not using them for an order, if you have children or, hey, feed the cook. Marble is one of my favorite flavors. Okay, now, what we're gonna do, we got that part done. Now, we're gonna go around the cake. Let's start from the bottom, and now we're just crumb coating the cake, okay? So we're gonna get this crumb coat on. Now that my bag is empty, I don't want to fill it anymore right now. So now I'm going to do what I was telling you earlier. Sometimes I just take, you know, my spatula and just scoop it on, okay? We start from the top. And now we just need to cover the cake. And a crumb coat is pretty much exactly how it sounds. All I'm doing is finna lock in all of the crumbs. And that way, when I put my final coat on here, you won't see any marble cake or any crumbs coming out of my cake, because that would make my finished product look terrible. It wouldn't look professional at all, okay? So we're just locking in the crumbs. So we're keeping going. How's everybody out there doing? I hope y'all keeping warm. Because like I said, this Michigan, you woke up to snow. That's why you gotta watch this tricky weather. You be done got up one day, didn't even wear a jacket or put on a thin jacket. The next day you put back on your winter coat. Now, I'm gonna take my scraper, okay? And I get this scraper here from Deco Pack, okay? But also, the cake store that I told you guys about, Crumbie's, they have everything. Okay, I've been doing cakes for some years now, so I have a lot of things that I've had for some time, but they have everything there. Okay, so we just gonna go around. And all I'm doing, it ain't gotta be fancy or anything like that. Right now, I'm just scraping up the extra icing off the board, and I'm just going around. I am closing, if there's any holes or anything like that, I'm closing them up. Just because it'll be easier for me when I'm putting my final coat on, okay? So we're going all the way up to the top. Now we're just gonna bring it in, okay? All right, now I got another pan over here, and like I told you guys, my cake pans, this is just one of my 7-inch cake pans that I bake the cakes in, because I do make round cakes as well. So with my cake pans, I use them for whatever I need. Right now I need it to be a bowl, so it's a bowl. And I'm just gonna wipe right on the side of it, because I can't take this that has crumbs in it and put it back in my buttercream, because that's the buttercream that I use for everything. So right now I'm just using it as a bowl to kind of just hold the buttercream with the crumbs in it. And like I said, my next cake that I'm knocking out after this is also a marble cake. So those crumbs, I'll use it on my next cake. So it's not even trash, okay? Fresh buttercream I just made this morning, okay? Put a little bit more over here around the sides. See a little hole over there that needed to be closed. And I'm just scooping some buttercream right off the spatula I was using earlier. And I can even take this here that I put on the side. Go around. Scrape any buttercream that I have down here on the board. Okay. All right, that's my crumb coat. All done. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this cake, I'm gonna put it in the fridge, let it get cold. I'm using an American buttercream and it crusts up. And basically what that means is it's a crusted buttercream, which means that when if I touch this buttercream right now, some buttercream will come off on my hand because it hasn't set up. And because this is a crusting buttercream, it'll take about 5-10 minutes. It'll crust up, and then when I touch it, nothing will come off. Okay, and we need that to go ahead with our next step. So we're gonna put this in the fridge for about 5-10 minutes. I'm gonna get this cake moved out, clean up a little bit, and then I'll be right back here. We're gonna put our final coat on. Then we're gonna add our decorations, and we're gonna move on to the next cake. All right, guys, I'll be right back. I am back, guys. Okay, I got cleaned up here a little bit. I got the cake put in the fridge. Now, let's go ahead and make the top icing, our top coat for the cake. So we're gonna take some of our buttercream here. And we just need enough to go around the cake. It's a SpaceJam cake, so we kind of want to make it. Now, remember I told you guys before that the fastest way to get color on your cake is to just go ahead and airbrush it. But because I'm going to be layering colors on it, I don't want to airbrush it because airbrushing kind of makes the cake wet. And then since I want to keep going with the cake, now if I was putting the cake in a fridge and I was actually finishing it up tomorrow, then I would just, like I did just now, set the cake up. I will go ahead, airbrush it, get the color on, fastest way, put it in the fridge. Then I know tomorrow when I get ready to start on it, it will be dry. But because we're pushing this cake out today in just a few hours, I don't want to airbrush it because I'd rather just put some color in my icing and then maybe let it set. If I let it set, because we probably will go just straight through at this point. But if I wanted to let it set, I'll just put it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes, bring it out, and then add the other colors. But because I want to keep going, I don't want to airbrush because then the cake will need to dry. Okay, so we got our buttercream. Now I got some royal blue color. It's from Chef Master. And I just get this from any cake supply store. You can go to Crummy's, any cake supply store, you know, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any of those stores. Now they may have a smaller version. This is an actual, this is a 10.5 ounce jar. If you want to order something and you want it to come straight to your house, typically I get these things from DecoPack. It's decopack.com. All you have to do is have an EIN number. They'll deliver to your storefront or your home, wherever you are, okay? And it'll come right to your door in just a matter of days, a few short days. Okay, so I got a little bit of blue. I kind of want a dark, rich blue, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Then I'm gonna go ahead, take my spatula, stir it in. Now, I know I need more already, so I'm gonna put a little bit more blue on it. And just so you know how some of those colors, when you do like those blacks and those red, those deep, rich colors, they'll change like the color of your icing. I noticed that only happens when you're using the icing that's something like a Buttercream. And usually when you see something that don't say Buttercream, that means it ain't no butter in it. So if it's Buttercream or got names like that, it's usually just like a shortening based icing. And who want that? So my icing, it don't matter what color I use or how much color I put in it. It does not change the flavor, okay? So I never worry about that. I've had clients call me in the past, and then if it was a certain color, you know, they want me to dim it up, and I confidently tell them it'll still taste like I didn't put anything in it. So now we got a royal blue color. Now, because outer space, to me, when I think about it, I think of like a navy blue color. So in order to get this like darker, kind of navy, all you do is add just a few drops of black, okay? And then that color will go up for you and it'll be like a navy. It'll get darker. So gonna need a little bit more black. You can also use a little bit of purple as well. I don't have the purple out here, so we're gonna stick with the black and get the color we need. See how it's changing already? I don't know if you guys can see that as well, but if you can see it, it's changed in color. So now we're getting that navy that we wanted. All you need is a little bit of black. And these just little tricks. I'm gonna put a little bit more blue. These just little tricks that I've learned over the years, you know, coloring cakes and making certain colors and stuff like that. Boom, now we got our navy. I don't know if you can see that, but this is the color that I was looking for, okay? Okay, navy blue. So now, just gonna wipe a little bit of this off. With the magic of TV, you know, I only been gone for a couple seconds. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna grab the cake out of the fridge, bring it back. We're gonna put our final coat on. I got a few decorations to put on. We're gonna walk it all out together. Quick, easy, and done. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab the cake. Okay, we got our cake. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my wet cloth here and I'm gonna go around it. That way, if there's any crumbs from what we did, the crumb coat, I wanna get any of that. Although I don't really see any here, but just to walk you guys through the steps so you'll know. If there's any crumbs or anything like that, you wanna get it off because this is the final coat and we don't want any crumbs in our final coat. Okay, so now we're gonna take our navy blue. Get it put up on the cake. We're gonna go ahead and take our spatula, our icer, and I'm just gonna pour everything from the top of the cake. We're gonna go down, we're gonna hit the sides, and if I'm honest with you guys, this cake has, if it's been in there, it's probably been in there about 5 minutes or so, 5 or 6 minutes, okay? So, if you haven't had the cake in there overnight, if it haven't been in there a long time, you know, maybe 30 minutes or anything like that, it's a crusting buttercream, so it will crust in about 5 minutes, and I probably took it out in about 5 minutes. So, what you can do is, let's go ahead and touch the cake and see. So, a little bit of buttercream did come off, so it hasn't even completely crusted yet, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just going around this cake and I'm putting the buttercream on lightly. I'm not going hard. I'm staying right on top of the cake and I'm putting it on lightly because it hasn't completely crusted up yet. But I got several orders to knock out and I want to keep going, okay? I don't have time to, you know, these is real orders that I'm doing for you guys. This ain't none that I'm making up because I want to show you a certain cake. Although I will do that for you guys if it's certain ones that you guys want to see. But for the most part, these are real orders going out, okay? And they do today. So we banging them out. Okay, so now we're gonna keep going around. So now we got our final coat on. And I didn't press it real hard. Okay, so that's the reason why you don't see like any white going around the cake. Okay, so now we're gonna take our spatula and we're gonna go around the cake and smooth out our buttercream. This buttercream, guys, is so delicious. I'm telling you, I love it. And not just because I made it, I love it. It's really bomb. It really is. It's very versatile. It'll do whatever you need it to do. It'll do roses. I do my wedding cakes. I do treats all the way up to wedding cakes. Same icing. I don't alter it or do anything. The only alterations that it may get is color, like, you know, what we did already. Okay. So we're gonna keep going around. I see a couple holes on the side. Try not to press down too hard. I mean, if I'm honest, if a little bit of white came up, I wouldn't trip. I wouldn't even care that much because I'm doing a SpaceJam. So like outer space. And most of my orders are freestyle. My clients typically tell me to they just give me a theme and they just tell me do whatever I want. Okay? And that's what I'm doing right now. They just told me SpaceJam, and she told me that it's for a baby shower. That's all she told me. She said, do whatever you want. Just make it SpaceJam and just know it's for my baby shower. That's it. So anything else we come up with together, that's what we doing. Because she told us we can do freestyle means, Miss Savannah, do whatever you want. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go around a couple more times. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit now because I'm ready to get it done. I don't wanna have to keep going around. So when I slow it down, that means I'm ready to finish it. And then it don't have to be completely perfect because it's out of space. And we know how out of space is. What I really like to do, because I do these cakes on the fly, and a lot of times I don't think about it ahead of time. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Sometimes I do. But a lot of times I don't. I just get on it and I just do it. Okay? So let's go around it, pull the sides in. Now, if you're looking for that real crispy top edge, then you could have, like, when you go around it and that little bit come at the top, you could take this and go put it in the freezer, or you could sit it in the fridge for about 30 minutes, then come back with your scraper and just scrape around. It'll be crisp and clean. But doing it this way as well, it'll also be clean. Trust me, when I'm done with this cake, it's gonna be nice and they're gonna love it. Okay, because I don't stop. I don't care how much time I have. I try not to run over, but if I run over, I'd rather run over. You know what I mean? Then give them a cake that I don't even like. Because I know if I like the cake, I know it's a nice cake. So I've been doing cakes for years, and I know a nice cake when I see one. So, and then, you know, we want our clients to be happy. Just putting a little bit more right there because I seen a little white spot. Okay. Now, it's been smoothed and I am happy with it. That is done. Now I'm just gonna take my cloth and just go around one more time because I'm just cleaning up the board, any leftover icing, which I don't see any, but I can't help myself. I do it because I want it to be, nothing is perfect, but I want to get it as close as possible. Now, I'm going to take this cake. Matter of fact, we're going to keep going. Let's keep going. Because typically, I would take this cake, put it in the fridge one more time, kind of get ready and everything for the pieces, but I'm not actually making the pieces for this cake. I kind of pre got some pieces that's already made. So what I'm going to do is, typically, at right now, I would take this cake, I would put it in the fridge. Remember I said I got another marble cake right after this. I would grab that cake, set it up, throw it in, come back, and when I say set it up, that means cut out my circles because it's an 8 inch as well. Get it all stacked up, get the crumb coat on, put it in, you know, work with that, put it in while this was in the fridge. And then when I was done with that, I would go back and get this cake and it would be completely set. I could touch it, do whatever. But because I want to keep going with it, That's what we're gonna do. But that's how you get ahead of the game. Like if you have time, you have enough refrigerator space, set up all your cakes, cut out your circles, put all the crumb coats on everything and have them in the fridge overnight. And then the next day, you just starting with this color, okay? Now, what I wanna do is, I got some airbrush color, and you can't even see, I don't even know if you can see, because I done had this bottle for a while, but this is actually a mirror color, okay? And it is silver. And you know how outer space, when we look up, you look at the stars and everything, and you see like a, you know, like specks or whatever. So that's what I'm about to do. So I'm gonna take this pan that I have here. Remember I said I take my 8-inch pans, got a little water in there, I just washed it out. I take my 8-inch pans and I use them as bowls, whatever I need them for. That's what I use them for. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I got a brush right here. So I'm just gonna take a brush. That's the airbrush. And this is actually airbrush, it's silver airbrush. And I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna douse the cake with it, okay? I do little flickers going around it. Can you see that? Just doing little flickers on the cake. So it's just, you know, to give it some texture, to make it look like, you know, and then you could just take it, dip it in, and just do this. And go around the cake, and that's all I'm doing. Now, the gray looks good, so I'm gonna do the gray, but now that I'm looking at it, I wanna do this with white, okay? So let me grab some white, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. Now, let's go ahead and finish up this cake. This is still our SpaceJam cake. Now, what we're gonna do is, I went and got the white. This is our white airbrush color. Actually, this is a gel, so you can't hear it. It doesn't have that water consistency, so this is a little bit thicker. I'm just gonna take the top off. And this is a white color, and it'll show up like, I can see it, but I like it to look a little bit better. I'm gonna take that same brush, and I'm gonna dip it. Stir it just a little bit, because like I said, this is a gel. Then I'm just gonna take it. Hope you guys can see that. And I'm just flicking it right on our cake, okay? Right around the sides. Can you see that? So, for the most part, all I wanted to do is to make it look like outer space. You know, when things are out of space, when you look up and you see like the stars and everything, it just look like specks up there in the sky. That's all I'm doing. Stir it up just a little bit more. Then we just, see, I'm just tapping the brush, and it's putting like little flickers all over our cake. You can fling it, tap it, whatever works best for you. And I don't care if it gets on the board, because this is the kind of cake that we're doing. That's good. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take just a little bit of that silver and dip my brush in the silver, just a little bit of silver, because I like them both. And then just go. And the silver is diluting my white just a little bit. And it doesn't matter if a little bit of white gets in my silver, because that's how you make silver. It definitely has white in it. You guys see that real good? And all I'm doing is just putting, like, look, now I'm gonna dip it in the white. A little bit of white. And I'm really just using the silver to dilute it just a little bit. So it's like I'm getting both colors around the cake. And all I'm doing is making it look like when you look up in the sky, And you see it looks like little specks. A little bit of white. Then I'm gonna dip a little bit of silver. Or you could just dilute your white. If you didn't want to use silver at all, just dilute the white. Okay, now, you see that real good? We just got it going all the way around the cake, all up top. Now, that part is done. So we're gonna put our brush down. Ooh, it do get a little messy, but hey, you ain't decorating for real if you don't make a little bit. Okay, now what we're gonna do is let me put the top back on our white. Now we're gonna finish it. So what I got is, I got a SpaceJam picture for the top of the cake. I got it from Amazon. I'm gonna take my scissors and just cut the bottom piece off because I don't need that. I'm gonna put it in my garbage ball. Okay. Now, shiny side, I'm gonna look around the cake, pick which side is the best looking side to me, and that's gonna be the front of my cake. So right now, I'm only picking the front of the cake. Okay, this is my front. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of buttercream and I'm gonna put it right there on my board. That way I don't have to think about the front of my cake anymore. So see that little piece of buttercream? That lets me know this is the front of the cake. So I'm gonna take the SpaceJam picture and I'm gonna put it, I'm just gonna center it right in the center of the cake. And I'm gonna push it down just enough to make sure it's standing. Boom. So there's my SpaceJam logo for the cake. Now, I got an edible image for the cake. So we're gonna take our edible image, and I just got it in a bag sealed up, that way it don't dry out. I actually got all of my images for all the other cakes that I'm gonna be doing as well. So, now what I'm gonna do is, this is my edible image. Remember I told you it was a baby shower? See how it says baby SpaceJam? So, I'm gonna cut it out. And since I'm only using one, I'm gonna take the other one because I just had two printed. Because when you're printing out on the paper, if you only need something and it's small, now you got a whole blank part at the bottom with nothing on it. And a lot of times I just go ahead and print the same thing twice because typically what I notice with the cakes and everything, and this bag got a hole in it. So typically what I notice with the cakes is that a lot of times people order the same thing. So I just go ahead and print it again because people see your work, they love it, you know what I mean? Or catch the eye of somebody who wanted the same thing, and then now you're making the cake again. So now I got the image ready for the next order. Or if I decided to go ahead and put an image on the back of the cake as well, I got the image ready. So all I'm doing is just going around the image. See, it's in a square, but I don't want the square, so I'm just going up to the image and cutting it all the way around and cutting it out that way. That way I won't just have like a square box sitting on the front of the cake. So we're gonna get this all the way cut out. So how's everybody doing? I hope y'all enjoying. It's Friday. I know it's snowing, guys. But hey, spring is right around the corner for us, y'all. It is coming. What we got? Really, what, about a couple more weeks? Actually, a little less than that. What is it, the 19th or the 20th or something like that is the first day of spring? And I am looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Hopefully the gas prices will be done went down as well. Okay, now we got that done. See? So I just cut up to it, okay? Now I'm just gonna take it, peel it right off the back. Boom. Put that in my garbage bowl. And then right here on the front, I'm gonna put the SpaceJam. But I gotta turn it towards me, guys, because I don't wanna mess this up. This is the front of the cake. So I'm just gonna lean down a little bit to the cake so I can see what I'm doing here. And this cake has crusted up. It's not super cold, you know, but it is a crusted cake. It has crusted, which means I'm not worried about it coming off or doing a whole lot of lifting or anything like that. But I'm touching it lightly. Okay, see that? Now we got our SpaceJam logo on our front. Now that piece of buttercream that I put down there, I could just take that off. Put it in my garbage bowl because my logo is on. I know where the front of the cake is. So we're gonna take this leftover trash from the image. And we're gonna take that and we're gonna put it in our garbage bowl. Now, what I want to do is go ahead and put a border around the cake. So I got my red bag here, and I got a tip number 4 on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and move my garbage bowl over just a little bit more. And I'm going to go ahead and put a red border just to bring out some of the color so it's not so dark. And I'm just going to put a simple small red border, just a bead border. Just piping a bead around it, all the way around the cake. For the most part, this cake is done. I'm gonna add a couple more pieces to it. In the beginning, I wanted to do some chocolate work on it. There is one other thing that I think I wanna do to the cake. Here, there's one other thing that I want to do to the cake. I wish I had done it so you guys get to see me, you know, because like I said, a lot of times I don't plan how I'm going to do these cakes. So there is one other thing that I want to do, but I'm already putting a border on, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it. But I want to do like some little different variations of blues. So we got the border all the way around. But me looking at it, it looked a little plain to me, okay? So I want to bring it up a notch. So what I'm going to do is, it's for a baby shower. This is what I'm going to do. We're going to move the cake back just a little bit, because I want you guys to see. Now, I got my seal pad here, and it's actually one of those seal pads where you do macaroons on it, okay? So I could do my macaroons on this. But what I want to do is, I want to take some of this blue here, this blue color that we made earlier. I'm going to take my small spatula. I'm going to take a little bit of white buttercream, and I'm going to put it on my board, okay? I'm going to take just a dab of blue, just a drop, okay? and I'm gonna make some color. So I do this too, especially when I don't want to like dirty up any more bowls. And this is already clean, it's right here. I wish I would have done this to the cake before I put the sign in the bottom on, but hey, I'm not gonna edit this out or anything. You guys get to see firsthand. So I got another blue, okay? So now that I got this blue, I'm just gonna wipe it. So I wanna take this blue, wipe it on the cake. Wipe it on, just in different variations. I mean, the blue that I put on earlier, that's cool. I mean, you know, the specks and stuff that I put on earlier, that's cool and everything. But I need a little something more going on, okay? This is looking a little plain Jane to me. So, like I said, my SpaceJam logo is already on there. So I just gotta be careful not to touch it. And then if I do touch it, y'all gonna see how I go around and hook things up and bring them back together. Okay, so we got that on there, and to me, that stepped it up some. So now I'm gonna bring the cake closer to me because I ain't got no time for flaws because everything is already on. So now, without really touching the cake much, I'm gonna go on and I'm just going right over. Hold on. I wanna use this spatula right here to do it. Just gonna wipe it off a little bit. Okay. We're gonna hit the top. And I'm touching it, but barely touching it. All I'm doing for the most part is just smoothing down this blue. Just kind of making it look more galaxy, more spacey, if that's a word. Okay? Going around here, hitting it here and there, bringing it up. Just because I need a little bit, this cake need a little bit more popping. Need a little bit more going for it. Okay. Okay, oh, yes. That's what it needed. Okay, so now I'm just going up on the sides. I'm touching the cake, but I'm trying not to touch it too much. Okay, just wipe the blue on here because remember we had this blue here earlier from the actual color of the cake. Hit the sides, boom. Take it off, go up a little bit. I'm just kind of wiping in this color. A little bit more of our blue down here in the front. See, I'm just giving it some more love. And this is what I do for real, guys. Like when I'm freestyling, if I don't like something, remember earlier when I was saying, I keep going until I like it. Because I know if I like the cake, I know my client will. This looks so much better. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm just gonna kind of go in just a little. Boom. Okay. Now we're gonna hit it back here. Wipe my spatula off just a little bit. Now, when you guys do this, make sure you do this part first. You could do it how I did, but honestly, I'm doing it the hard way right now. You know, it's not the hard way, but you know what I mean. I could have got more bang doing it the other way. And also what I wanted to do is I wanted to take like my chocolate molds, because I got some chocolate spears and I want to do like some chocolate work. I know I was saying that earlier. I wanted to do some chocolate work, and then that way I could do like earth and some, you know, like some of the what you call them those? Or oh my goodness, I don't even know what they call right now. But you know, our like the planets, yeah. I wanted to do some of the planets on it. But sometimes, if I'm honest, y'all, I have to bring myself back too. And I have to remember how much I charge the client for the cake. So keep that in mind too. When you charge a certain amount for the cake, I know I'll be having to pull myself back. Like if I only charge a certain amount for the cake, you know, I don't want to keep going on the cake and then I don't make no money, if that makes sense, because I'm creative and, you know, I want it to be this way and that way. So that's what I have to keep in mind, like with myself when I'm freestyling, because when I freestyle a cake, it's one thing when a client picks a cake, they send you a picture and stuff like that, and you see the cake, and then you just go ahead and price it. But when you freestyling, you know, I mean, you just kind of going at it at a whim. You know what I'm saying? And then by you're a creative person already, you tend to, you know, you don't want to price yourself out. You feel me? And then you don't make the money you shoulda, coulda made because you still working on it. Yeah, okay. Now I like that. What y'all think? What y'all think? Can y'all see it real good? I just wanted to get something on it. I still see all the specs and everything, but that gave it some dimension. I like that much better. Much better. I just want to hit a couple spots. Okay, now to me it look more spacey. I wish that my edible image could have been had a little bit more white in it. But now, this is what I also got. I got some of these pieces. I got some pieces. Remember when I was saying I wanted to do I was gonna do the chocolate work and everything? But if I do the chocolate work, that's gonna price me out of how much the cake costs. So I'm trying to rein myself back a little bit so I could be sure we making money. So now this is what I got. Got the little spaceship. I got Saturn. I got Earth. I just went ahead and bought some pieces. And that way I could, and see, this is what I was gonna do to the cake at first, put the little craters in it. Okay, so now we're gonna put these pieces on the cake. Okay, see that? So now we got some pieces. You see that real good? Okay. Now, I'm gonna put some stars on the cake as well. Put this in our garbage bowl. And I got some stars right here. And I got these from Deco Pack as well. See that? Deco Pack. So, Now these are just pre-made. I mean, I could get my little, you know, I could get my little thing, get my little star cutters and do all of that, and that's cool and that's great. But I got some already made, and they're white stars. See? So I'm gonna take the stars. I can stand them up if I like. Just adding a few more things to the cake to bring it out a little bit more. Bringing it to life. And these stars, they come on like the little stick part where you can make them like stand up and come out the cake. And that's what I'm gonna be doing on my next cake. I'm using them to stand out the cake. It's a superhero cake. So we're gonna do one of those next. See, it's coming together. And this is exactly what it needs. So we're gonna put a couple more stars on. And let me show y'all how they look in the box. This is how they come. See, it's a few stars. They come together and they're on like this little string here. Well, it's not really a string, it's a wire. And you can make them stand up if you like, and there's several. Okay, so let me, and you just take them. You can either unravel them like what I'm doing, see? Now it's like several, okay? So now what we can do, I'll show you how it works. Say you take the bottom, I'm just wrapping it up, like twirling it around my finger, okay? Then I'm gonna slide it off. You could do it this way or you could just stick it out. See how I kind of made like a little like loop? And then I could take that, stick it at the top of the cake. You know, that makes it look real nice. Look at that. Let's do that again. Since we did one on one side, let's make it make sense. So let's do another one on the other side. And then I just twirled it around my finger, that's all. And then we're gonna bring it out some. So what are we doing? And then I'm gonna put one over here on this side. There you go. Now I wanna put, they come in different sizes. So they have some larger sizes. Here's a larger one. We're gonna take that one and we're gonna put a large one. Let me see. I wanna put a large one right here. I don't wanna put the large one in the front. I'm gonna do a smaller one. Right down here. Okay, there we go. Can you see? Okay. All right. Now, only thing that I wanna, we're gonna put these back in here. Like I said, I'm gonna keep them out because we're gonna be using this for our next cake because we got a superhero cake. So now, only thing I need to do is write congratulations. She wanted it to say congratulations. Matter of fact, let me put, I wanna put just a little bit more of the specs on there. Just a little more. Okay. All right. Now, that's our SpaceJam cake, guys. What y'all think? And these are just some pre-made pieces that we took and put on there. Saved us a little bit of time. She wanted it to say congratulations with the baby's name. I'm gonna write that right down on the front. For the most part, this cake is done. Oh, and another thing that I do want to do is I'm gonna take a little bit of glitter, like the silver glitter, and just kind of sprinkle a little glitter over the cake, and then it is done. Okay, so I won't have to run in the baking room and leave you guys. What I will do is I'll take a picture of the cake, and that way you guys can see what the cake actually looked like. But for the most part, it is done. I'm just gonna write congratulations on the board and put a little glitter on. All right, guys, that's our baby shower SpaceJam cake. I want to thank you guys again for taking time out of your day to watch me make this SpaceJam cake. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for coming back. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I would love it and appreciate it if you did it. That way I can stay motivated and keep going and keep pushing these cake outs for you guys. I love what I do. If there's anyone out there that's looking to do a cake class and you like to do a one-on-one with me, just email me, aboveallcreations@gmail.com. I do cake classes and I do one-on-ones. And I'm happy to teach you because I love what I do. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one where we're doing the superhero cake. Thank you again for watching. Have a blessed and prosperous day. Bye.